Okay, recording in progress. First thing I told everybody coming on, we have a good big class today. See this thing? Yeah, it's an old mop handle, broom handle, one of these Lieberman things. Don't just throw those things out. See, I put some masking tape on the end to have no hard edges, and I put one right here to make sure to keep that solid. And I'm telling you, these really help you when you're recovering from any kind of a setback. I don't care if it's an injury, some kind of a flu, a sinus infection, but especially if you've had a sinus infection, get you a pole in your hand because you want to walk without hitching, without leaning, and without losing your balance, okay? And when you're starting to ambulate, let me move this back just a tiny bit. There we go. When you're starting to ambulate, and you've had a sinus infection, the funniest little misstep can send you to the floor, okay? So I'm doing my workouts as if for a workout that I need to do, number one. And I go through all the different phases of life as everybody else out there. And I just came off being pretty sick. I haven't been that sick in a while, to tell you the truth. Lot of sinus infection, lot of lung stuff. I'm totally cleared. I saw my doctor, all that kind of stuff. But it affects your hearing. It affects your vestibular system. Do you see what I'm doing? You think I'm just doing, she just, let me do something else. No. You need to take the time to do just the stepping through. So I did it first with my pole. Now I'm doing it with my pole here. And as I do that, now I'm going to start activating my upper body, okay? So once I get myself walking properly, then I'm going to bring it in my hands and do a straight out. So you notice I did not go up. I went straight out, then down. And as you start to step forward, you have a tendency, and you don't realize this because this is our warm up, you don't realize that as you step out, you're doing this. I don't want you to do that. I want you to say rib cage up. So when you step out to take that walk and you reach out, do not bend forward, see, at your waist. So this is a great time to start to realign and to hesitate so that you can realign, okay? You know what? Sometimes this is the day-to-day or a thing because we really have that constant pull to bend forward. And when we do that, it sets everything off. And you don't realize it. You think, oh, it's easier to just bend forward and to do this. It is not, and it starts setting up a cascade of problems through your postural and your muscles and your joints, especially your back. So take your pole, put it here now. We've done multiple walking forward and backs. I've cautioned you about doing this. This is what we don't want to do. See, my chin is like this, and I'm hunched over. Now I'm over exaggerating it. But seriously, unless I catch myself, I go right into that as well. And so now what's the third phase that I'm going to start pulling you into? It's the exaggerated knee lift. And seriously, if you had to leave like quick and you did at least 2 sets of 10 of an exaggerated knee lift with your rib cage up, okay? Especially if you have your pole and you do this and you hesitate, then you do this and you hesitate, you say rib cage up and you put your foot down, switch your hand every so often, switch your hand or every other. You could do that. But see what I'm doing? I'm hesitating, okay? If you have noticed that you are, or somebody maybe has mentioned to you, you're leaning or you're bending forward or whatever, you know. Kids are famous for telling you how hunched over you're getting. So what am I doing? Okay, now this is an important phase right here that I'm doing. And if you had to leave quickly, do about 10 of these, but don't do them fast. Hold. See how I'm holding? This is a very different move because pretty soon I'm going to take this pole out of the mix. Okay? So, big breath in through your nose. Anytime I say big breath, I'm meaning shut your mouth. Pull through the nose. See this? Soften your knee. Now, bring that pole off the ground and just hang out here for a bit. Okay, take a breath through the nose. Okay, now put your foot down. Switch. Okay, rib cage up. Get ready. Here we go. Breathe through the nose. See, I have an exaggerated knee lift. Don't lock your knee. Bend the knee slightly. Say rib cage up. Big breath. Okay, now release the pole. This is my challenge side. Okay, bring your knee up. Okay, now put it down. Now put that down. And then again, say rib cage up. Okay, I went through 3 major movement patterns. Okay, starting off with. And all of them include rib cage up. All right. If you would just go through that scenario and do that exaggerated knee lift, and if some of you have issues, let's say you don't have a pole, let's say you're really wobbly, get yourself up against a counter, get yourself up against a wall. Don't lean hard into it, but bring one leg up at a time, okay? This is the formula for all kinds of things, but as far as movement goes, as far as really helping make strides to walking better, to getting your balance back, and it's doable with people with osteoporosis issues, with back issues, and especially replaced joints. And the whole thing that will hinge it. See how I'm coming back here now? Okay, now I'm going to come up, exaggerated lift. I'm going to go across midline. I'm going to press down. Then I'm going to take that back leg and step forward. Do you see that? So I did a bunch of crossovers. Then I'm going to move back, back, back. Opposite side. Here we go. Drop your shoulders. Soften your knees. When you soften your knees, do not do this. Bending forward, bringing your chin out. How do you avoid that? You do the lineup. What's the lineup? When I go to do an exaggerated knee lift, I, in my head, just constantly keep saying, soften my knee, rib cage up, shoulders down, chin tucked. And that chin is tucked with your teeth together, okay? So these are the little nuances, okay? So here I am in this little holding pattern. Now I'm going to take that bar off the ground and I'm going to cross over. I'm doing the same leg this time. Sorry about that. Okay, see this scenario? See this? See this? Okay, this foot plant is the exact movement pattern that get many of you tripping and falling. See what I'm doing? I have my pole if I need it. Yeah? Say rib cage up. Now bring the back leg forward and take a big step forward. Then move back. Okay, now we're going to do the other leg. Are you ready? So I want to point out to you that before I went into this scenario where I went crossover, okay, exaggerated knee lift, cross over midline, soften up your knees, okay? Now release the pole from the ground. Stay crossed over if possible. Breath through the nose, breath, okay? And plant it. And here I am again. See this? My foot is in the back. I'm crossed over. I'm going to bring the back foot all the way forward into a big step. And then come right into that. What I'm doing right now with you guys is a certain set of movement patterns that not only affects your balance, your muscles, your joints, but it affects your brain. That gets it working in different ways to keep your balance. Okay, cross over, come back. Cross over, come back. Okay, now I'm using my pole, but let's just go like this because you know the movement now. I'm going to cross over, I'm going to come back. Okay, I'm going to cross over, I'm going to come back. Now I'm going to step back as far as I can go. So from crossing over to stepping all the way back, do not do what this. I don't know if you're seeing me, but I had you cross over. And then I had you take a big step back. And you know what some of you did? You caved and you went like this. So after you cross over and you step back, rib cage up. Okay? Take a big breath. And you're wondering, why is she hammering on all this so much, this little weirdo walking stuff? Because in just a minute, I'm going to do some of these stepping patterns loaded with weight. Okay? So let's go back. I'm going to step back with this leg now because this was the leg I stepped back with. So let's do our little pattern. So you cross over, you come back. You cross over, you come back. Now you're going to take this leg, the opposite leg, you're going to slip back. And guess what? If you didn't watch the way your placement is in your room, some of you will have stepped back and you will have hit something, and that's enough to send you, okay? So that's what I'm trying to do a lot of these movement patternings for, is to get you into a different mindset and to be able to catch yourself, okay? So as I stepped back and I'm opening this hip flexor and I'm saying rib cage up, big breath, drop my shoulders. I'm gonna go now across midline with my upper body, okay? Then I'm gonna come back in, step back up, step back again with the other leg, cross over, and come all the way down here. And it's gonna, that one little move, if you're not careful, if you're not thinking, focused, this movement pattern right here will get you to overbalance and you'll like catch yourself like that. Yeah, I know. Okay, take a big breath. Let's do that again. Okay. So here I am. I know I can step back really far. I'm going to step back. I'm going to take my stick across midline. And then I'm going to come back this way. And I'm going to hold my balance. Okay. So I'm in a little bit of a crouch. Okay. I've lowered my center of gravity. So with anybody with ankle issues, knee issues, hip issues, this crossing over of your upper body, holding yourself in a split stance can be a big deal, okay? Don't over lean, say rib cage up, and you go dig in, 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 and you're keeping your heels on the ground. Then you're gonna come forward, and you're gonna go back with the other leg. See how I'm gonna go back? And the more narrow you can be, the more challenging it will become. So say rib cage up. Here's your little stick, your oar, okay? I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna go in, okay? And if you do this too vigorously, and you're not in a bent knee position, and you're really tightening in your tummy, and you're thinking about your positioning, this is enough to get you to either over or under balance. And that's what sends people to the floor, okay? And you see this move? Do you see that I'm not going up high with my shoulder? So I'm using all the muscles actually in my upper back, my chest, my shoulders, my arms, but I'm not overusing them. That's the whole thing. I'm not overusing them. Keep going, 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 keep going. Take a big deep breath. In through the nose, in through the nose, in through the nose, in through the nose, and come back. Yay! All right. Now then, little tiny rows. See this? Little tiny rows. Keep your tummy tight. Keep your tummy tight. Keep your tummy tight. Knees are soft. See this? I'm right in here in the middle. Yeah. So rib cage up. Some of you are going to want to overlean. See what I'm doing with my ankles? See, I'm right here together. Closed situation here. Hip hinge. Butts back a little. And you do these little tiny rowing. Okay? You speed things up. You say rib cage up. Do not bend at your waist. Yeah, stay in there, stay in there, stay in there, stay in there. Keep your elbows down, keep your elbows down. See this rowing? Yeah, so rotational. So good for your shoulders. Big breath, big breath. Sit back into your heels, sit back into your heels. Keep it going, keep it going. Breath, 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 and breath. And come back up. Yay. All right. Little walk back. Now we go side to side. Okay. So I'm here in the middle. I'm going to step, push, come right into it. I'm going to step, push, come right into it. Keep my chin tucked. Okay. I'm going to turn to the side so you see what I'm doing. Step, and you push your butt back, and you just bring that bar right down here as far as you can go until you feel the stretch starting on the groin. Then you come straight up, come to the center. Now you're going to step. The foot you step with is the foot that bends. Keep your chin tucked. Go down as far as you can. Do not take your head and shoulders lower than your hips, okay? Drop it back down into that one. Here we go, right there. And then come back. See that? So I'm right here. I'm going to go down as far as I feel I can. Then I'm going to push straight back up, okay? Again, don't lower your head and shoulders lower than your hips. I see it all the time. So we're going to do that another couple of sets. I'm only doing about 2 per set in this. Okay, see I stepped. Okay, this is a very important move for many of you out there with what's called wonky hips. Okay, Do you see what I'm doing right here? See what I'm doing? I'm hip hinging. This leg is straight. Toes are forward. I'm coming down. This knee is bending. This butt is pushing back. This butt cheek right here. See how I'm coming down? And then I'm going to come back up. Then I'm going to do it again. Okay? Here's what I want you to pretend. Pretend that you have your weights in your hands here. Okay? Keep your chin tucked. Okay, when I start to go down, I'm pushing the butt back. This knee is bending. This knee is straight. Do not put your head and chest lower. Okay, go down by bending here, then come back up. Okay, take a big breath, come back in. All right, we're gonna do one more time now. I'm gonna go this way, bend, bring it in, just see how it feels. This way, bend. See, I'm just doing a little. Okay, stay with me. Drop your shoulders. See, step, push back, and then come back. Just take note. How does your hips, how does your back, how does your knees feel? Okay, because if you're doing this properly, this should not be stressful on your knees at all. Okay, you should feel it here. You should feel a stretch here. See how I'm coming down? I'm going to push back. I'm going to come down. I'm going to push back. So I'm only doing a couple, and then I switch. All right, and then come back. So now we're going to do some more of that very move in just a second with weights. All right, we've done side to sides. We've done split stances. We've done a lot of foot crossovers. We've done behind stepping. We're starting to body load. We've done some little combatant moves where we're doing quicker moves right here. And when you start doing this little move, many of you will do this. I start doing this and you start caving and you start going like this. That is not what we're doing, okay? Drop your shoulders. You can hip hinge a little, but you can say rib cage up. And you just really motor through those shoulders without hurting shoulders that don't move so well sometimes. Okay, now I'm going to put my bar down. I'm going to pick up light weights. Okay, so what's a light weight? Well, it could be, depending on the person, anywhere from 2 to 6, let's say. I'm picking up 6 for my light. And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to sit. Now, generally, when I start you out on a chair squat or a chair sit to stand, generally, what I'll do is put one of my little, my balance pads under me. I'm not doing that because we did a lot of warming up. If you ever feel that you need to be higher because whatever reason, your hip, your back, whatever is bothering you when you go to sit, okay? Many of you out there have gone through hip replacements, knee replacements. I get it. I've had both myself. So here's the deal. Some mornings you get up and things just aren't working right, okay? So you do an extended warm-up like we just now did, okay? That's number one. Number two, use a little pad on your chair. That will help. So lightweight, I'm going to come right here. I'm going to come and push into my heels. I'm going to go a little wider with my feet, a little wider. I'll go narrower in just a minute. Do you see how I'm going to do this hip hinge? Do you see that? Okay. Keep my chin tucked. And I'm going to come right into here. I'm going to go heels. I'm going to hang out here for just a second. And then I'm going to come up. I'm going to go right back down. And I'm going to work my arms just a little. Press down. Come 1, 2, go into the heels. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down. One more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come down and up. Woo! Take a big breath through your nose. Ruby's trying to bury her bone. And sit. See that? Now, if you feel a little lightheaded, that's kind of normal. Because we did some tasks. Bent over. Okay? Take a big breath again. Now I'm going to take my weights. I'm going to go from here to here. You see that? These are light. Now I'm sitting to do this, right? That's going to change. Are you ready? So I'm going to come into my hip hinge. I'm going to just lift the butt off the chair, but I'm not going to stand up. I don't know what my dog is doing. Ruby, what are you doing? Leave the blanket alone. Okay, are you ready? So you come right to here, and you're going to get your butt up, and then you're going to go push, 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 push. Take a breath, 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 and take a breath. And sit. Then hip hinge open. Big breath. Through the nose. Drop your shoulders. Open. Come right here. Push, push, push. These are light weights. Light weights. Push as straightforward as you can. Breath, 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 breath. Yes. Now we're going to go ahead and stand up. You ready? Big breath through the nose. We're going to come here, push into the heels. When you go to stand up, what are you doing with your knees? Many of you, when you come into this, if I don't say something, you go in with your knees or you go out with your knees. I don't want you to do either. So get your proper foot placement. Push. We're going to take these with us. We're going to go up. Okay? These are light weights. Big breath. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Get your butt off the ground, off the chair. Come up. Pull. Open. Keep your knees very soft. And at this point, all I want you to do is go above your ears and touch the sides of your head. Now, don't grip the weights. Okay, some of you are gripping it like a death grip. Now bring it right back down to the top of your shoulders. Then go right back to above the ears. Take a big breath. Come right back there. Here we go, big breath. Through the nose. Back, here we go. Right there above the ears. Back down. Above the ears. Back down. Above the ears. And back down. And you're going to come down. You're going to put those weights right in front of your feet. You're going to bring your hands up. You're going to bring your hands up. And then what I want you to do is do a little tester. Bring your hands and put your thumbs right above the ears. And then bring those elbows back down. Okay? So why am I doing this? Because when I take somebody and myself, anybody, and I am going to bring their hands up, If you have some kind of shoulder degeneration, if you have some kind of shoulder hitchy going on, you gotta see how your normal movement patterns are feeling in that motion. See, with no weights. And then when I put weights on, if you're doing weirdo moves because something hurts in your shoulder, then there are some moves that we can't do with you at this time. Okay? So I'm meaning if something's going screwy with my shoulder and I can't get my hands back here so that my thumb is above my ears, see, if this is the only thing I can do, then I got a problem. Okay? I would caution you in any move above your head with weights when you're having a shoulder issue. There's tons of things we can do. But, so I'm going to sit down. So why am I going over this? Because we just kind of make little compensatory moves that gets us into trouble on down the way if we don't straighten out our posture. Okay? And one of the ways I test is to take your thumb and put it above your ear, and I check and see what position is my hands, what position is my elbow when I go from here to here. See that? It's a big deal. And if something's going screwy with your shoulder, it could be the weirdest little move that just totally, you can't do it. So I'm trying to do this to help you ascertain where those movements are that gives you a problem. I'm using light weights or no weights. So I'm going to go down and grab my weights. So I'm going to come right here, grab my weights, come back. Okay, so I'm combining some very important upper body moves, shoulder moves, arm moves with lower body loading. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to light weights. I'm going to stand up right here, stand up right here. Then I'm going to shift. And you know all that stuff we did at the beginning of the class? You know all that stuff we did? All that stuff we did? Crossing over, all that kind of stuff? Trying to get into one-legged standing. This right here. See, I'm not going way up. But what have I just done? I've just put, even though this is light, this is 6, this is 6. So what do I have coming down on all my joints right now? I have 12 pounds. Yeah. And so now I'm going to keep my knees soft and I'm going to bring my toe off the ground. I'm going to hang out here for just a few seconds. Then I'm going to put my foot down, bring my hands down, take a big deep breath. Anytime you start pushing weight loading, I don't care how gentle it is, I don't care if it's body weight, and you've had any kind of a little setback, it takes a while, okay, to recover back. So put your foot down if you need to once in a while, all right? So I'm going to shift to the other side. My knee is soft. I'm going to bring my weights up and open, okay? So it's right above my ear. And if I were having an issue with my shoulder, I probably would try to do this with no weight and would probably try to see if I could do a normal, functional movement pattern with my hands, you know, coming right above my ear first, and then I would add the weight. Okay, big breath. So now stand your ground. We did 1 foot standing with weights. Now we have our weights right here. We're going to come down and just come down. You see that? This is a very functional movement pattern, and it will catch you if you have some shoulder little problems, okay, which many of us do, me included. So Yeah, I don't have any joints replaced in my shoulders, but this shoulder is the one I landed on after I flew into the air after getting hit by a car, and I landed in the cement or on the pavement on this shoulder. So it's a management issue. Basically, do you see what I'm doing? Okay, I'm doing this with very light weights. Some of you need to do it with no weight. And if it bothers you, don't keep moving in that position. I'm trying to give you some movement screens here to check how things are floating. Do you see my elbows? If I came into your room right now, number one, most of you have locked your legs, okay? Don't lock your legs. Drop your shoulders, okay? Do you see how I'm at a 45-degree angle? Do you see that? See, this is a 45-degree angle. It's not here. It's not here. It's turned out a little. And then I'm going to just bring my elbows into my waist, and I'm going to bring the weights where it's tapping my shoulders at a 45-degree angle. That's an important move to be competent in, okay? And if some of you are doing this, and I came in with you doing this little lift here, and you got to this point right here, and then you kind of pulled your shoulder a little bit in order to finish the move, we got a problem. So I'm trying to help you be self-aware of what causes your shoulder catching, okay? Now, at the same time, see, I'm standing my ground here. Okay, now I'm going to start pushing into my toes. I'm going to keep my rib cage up. As I lift this 45-degree light weight to my shoulders, I'm going to bring my heels off the ground. And then I'm going to bring and put them down. Then I'm going to bring my heels off the ground. I'm going to try to hold with my heels off the ground. I'm into my midfoot, my ball of my feet, basically. Take a big breath, exhale, and go to your heels. Okay, ready? Your heels come up, and your weights come up, right to there, okay? Now, some of you are bending your wrists. Okay, I won't say names. Marilyn. Okay, bring your heels up. Some of us are just prone to doing that. Why? Because it gives us, we don't have to use the weaker muscles. And we don't keep our wrist in neutral, and then we start that cascade of problems. Look at my elbows. They're at my waist. My tummy's tight, my shoulders are down, my heels are up. Big breath through the nose and back out. And here's the deal. When you go up into the balls of your feet right now, and you're bringing your heels up, and you're doing this task, now stay up, don't go back down. See, 45-degree angle. See this? Elbows are at my waist. Heels are up. Heels are up. Heels are up. Yeah. You're putting all that pressure from your whole body weight standing this whole time, which can be very significant, especially when you go to the balls of your feet, okay? And I meant to say, don't scrunch your toes up. Because some of you want to scrunch your toes up. So don't do that. Okay, now we're going to put these in your chair. We're going to open our hands. We've gripped those weights for quite a bit now, okay? So open your hands, close your hands, open your hands, close your hands. Anytime you need to take a break in gripping something, take a break. But when you do it, open your hands, press down, and pull those fingers back with your shoulders down. Shoulders down. Shoulders down. See that? Take a big deep breath. Yes, big deep breath. And every time I say big, big breath, I'm meaning with your nose, okay? Now then, I'm gonna put these weights in my holder, okay? And I'm gonna go up, but I'm only gonna go up one. You may go up how much ever you feel. That's fine. So one of the classic ways to help you get back on track after you've been laid off for a bit, you're almost like, oh, I'm so weak. I don't know. Let me do a whole bunch of stuff so I can really, you know, get my muscles going again. That would be a mistake. Yes, that would be a mistake. So I'm trying to take you through very carefully with what you might think are very innocuous little moves, but they're extremely important. So one of the ways to do that is put your heavier weights up on your shoulders. And do you remember those walking patterns that we did at the beginning of the class today? Remember that? Okay, if you've had joints replaced and or you got issues with whatever, your back, your shoulders. Ruby's having a fit. Okay. She's trying to figure out what to do with her bone. That's her whining. Oh my goodness. Anyway, now I have 18 pounds coming down on my frame. So I'm telling you, if you don't know what to do and you're thinking, oh man, I've been off for so long, I don't know what to do, let me get back on track. You do this kind of a motion. You see what I'm doing? I'm doing a very normal, functional motion that we do every day, walking front to back, but I've loaded. And because I've loaded on my shoulders the way I have here, see, I have to say rib cage up. And look at here, look at here. I don't have my arms way up. I'm just touching them here on the front. See that? I'm just hanging on to them right here. Take a big deep breath, okay? Now, I'm gonna just put my hands right here. I'm gonna step over here to my chair and I'm gonna sit. So, everything in this movement patterning of sitting right now, is gonna really raise the bar. So I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. I'm holding the front part of my weights. I'm gonna go into my heels. So it's right here and you sit. See that? Then you come back in here, take a big breath through your nose. Heels, do not hold your breath. Take a breath right now. Exhale and up. And then what I want you to notice on this very pretty simple sit to stand, but it's weighted now. So I'm doing it now with 18 pounds coming down my frame, but that's added to my own body weight, which becomes a significant move. Okay, breath. Take a big breath through the nose, exhale. And as you're coming down, you can exhale. Okay, breath, exhale. Make sure you notice, do you have equal pressure coming through your knees, your hips, your feet? Some of us put more pressure, especially those of us with hips replaced, knees replaced, feet issues, back issues. And if you're not thinking about it, a simple move like this, done through the day, and you didn't realize that you're putting more pressure on one side versus the other side. You do that repeatedly, how many times in a day? That can cause problems in our joints, in our muscles. You overuse, you underuse. So give yourself a fighting chance. Take a breath, line yourself up, Go into a hip hinge, pushing into the heels. Breath, and then exhale. Take a breath, and then exhale. So you might want to do it going and coming. Just don't forcefully blow the air out, because that will get into a hyper ventilation type situation. Here we go. Take a big deep breath. Keep your chin tucked. Tight tummy. Breath. Exhale. Squeeze your butt right now. Okay. Now release. And exhale. Okay. Breath. Exhale. Now we're going to do the into the toes, lift the heels, and then come back. Into the toes, lift the heels, and come back. Into the toes, lift the heels, and come back. Rib cage up. Big breath. Rib cage up. Big breath. Rib cage up. Big breath. Then come back down. And you're in a sit situation. We have bigger weights now than we did to begin with. Let's go over our mechanics that we're going to use right now. So we're going to do a compound move. What does that mean? We're going to do some upper body, and we're going to do some lower body. Not real complicated, but you see, you have a higher weight, and you're doing some work here. See this? It's a pull, it's a turn, it's a lift. And when I lift, look where I go. I only go to above my ears. That's it. Then I come down, turn, and I pull in. Then when I pull up and I get ready to turn, I'm going to lift that leg, say rib cage up, turn, boom, right there. Just above the ears. Breath, breath, bring it in, bring it down. Here we go. Big breath, in through the nose, rib cage up, here we go. Lift the leg, turn, and here we go. Breath, 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 breath. Bring it back down, bring it back down. And come up, and come up. Turn, and go just above the head. Just above the ears, sorry. And say rib cage up, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down. Big deep breath, other side. Here we go. Pull, bring it up, the leg up, go just above the ear, say rib cage up, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in and down. Now you're in a bend over. See, I'm gonna put the weights here. See that? If I were with you right now and you bent forward, I would walk over to you and I would just check your back. Okay? So shoulders are down, your hip hinged here. Then we're going to come up and we're going to push back. See that? We're going to go down. We're going to push back. We're going to do about 4 of them, and then we're going to put a little change up. Breath, press. Here we go. Push. Drop your shoulders. Okay, this is it. Here we go. Right here. Right there. So what I want you to do is push, and I want you to just pull those shoulder blades in. Pull those shoulder blades in. Pull those shoulder blades in while you're holding the weights back here. Push, pull. See, I'm going to push back, pull the shoulder blades together. Push back, shoulder blades together. Push back, shoulder blades together. Push back, shoulder blades together. Just 2 more, just 2 more. We got this. Push back, shoulder blades together. 1 more. Push back, shoulder blades together. Bring those weights right here. Woo! Take a big breath through the nose. Bring the weight up. Bring the weight up. Right here to the middle and open. Right here to the middle and open. Right here to the middle and open. Breath. Big breath. Big breath. Just 2 more, just 2 and bring her down. Woo! Open those hands. Ready for body weight? Here we go. Heel of the hand. Step out. Okay. Now this time, instead of lifting the hips like we did the other day for movement, whole movement patterning, we're going to drop our shoulders. And this is especially for my fun-sized little slugs out there. I'm going to step out, number one. Number two, I'm going to drop my shoulders and look at my elbows. They're in tight. I'm going to slip my butt off the chair until I have to hang on with the backs of my arms. See that? Just lower it down and then come up. Lower with the arms and come back up. Leave your hips quiet. Don't lift them. In other words, drop your shoulders. Big breath. Right there. See this? When you're trying to help keep or get your muscles back, you gotta start with body weight work. Okay? Just, you got to. That's barring any injuries. If you got injuries, well, we gotta go a little different route. Drop your shoulders. Here we go. Right here. Now hang out there. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and come back. Swing those hands. Swing them. Swing them just like that. Open. And yourself big hug. Drop your shoulders. Yeah. Pull back. Big deep breath. Now on the way up, as we're exiting this little move, we're going to hit the hamstrings. Okay? Be careful if you've had any kind of, cold, sinus infection, if your ears, your hearing has changed, your eyesight, your glasses have changed, hang on to your chair. Number one, lift your butt. Number two, now hang on to the chair, bring your head down, now pull the toes up, and bring your chest right into your legs, just for a couple seconds. And then you rock back, take a big deep breath, let your blood equalize. Ready? Do it one more time. Here we go. You come down, you bring those toes up. Okay? So we want the head down, but we only want it down for a few seconds. So now I'm really pushing into the heels of my hands. And one more time. Here we go. 3 times. Pull those toes up, bring your head right, your chest right into your legs. Big stretch. Push into the heels and come up. Take a big deep breath through your nose. Yes, through your nose. Now, take a little test. Big breath. Just like this. Just like this. See, I didn't bring it up way high, but I'm just hanging out here for a little bit. Then I put the foot down when I want to put it down. That's the point. Shift. Big breath. Go to the toe. Soft knee. Release the toe. And just hang out here. Okay, fight it. Don't put the foot down until you want to put it down. Take a breath. Then you put it down. Okay? Go into that little W. Check your movement patterns. You go into a T. And you go into a Y. See that? The thumbs are back. The thumbs are headed back. Okay? Woo! A little shake out here. And I hope those little nuanced moves made sense after a while and that it helped you feel a lot better. That's what I'm hoping. Bye.